I didn't believe her. I listened.
Wood River Health is my home for health.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Crow, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be your home for health.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the last Wednesday in February. I can't really believe that, but February is a short month, and it's really been can't say it on the air, but it hasn't been a great month weather-wise. But looks like we're going to have March come in like a lamb. I've never understood that whole lion and lamb thing. However, I know it's biblical, and I'm not. Welcome to Mann About Town from 321 Media. We are in downtown Westerly, and it really is a beautiful day. And we are here with producer DJ Gadget, who in 4 days will be a very old person.
It's my birthday.
Yeah, she loves her birthday. We have to, every single week, it is on my agenda with how many days. So as of next week, we'll be back in the 300s.
4 more days.
Right now, it's only 4 days, but you can just bring your presents here. And we are here with Roxy the radio dog. And we are here with two of the most popular and important people in Westerly from the Dante Society. Margaret Sano, you are, I'm going to give you what I think your title is, then you can correct me. Events coordinator? Events broad?
How about the Distinguished Lecture Series coordinator?
Whew, that's much too classy.
Say that 10
much
times
too
fast.
classy. Anyway, she's the lady who books all the events. And if you were at the library on Saturday for Dr. Boogie Woogie, she got up and just talked about what was upcoming, and it's amazing. These folks at the Dante Society, it's month after month, there is always something going on. And on my right, I've got, you're the president, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm the president.
Because
Yep.
nobody else wanted to be this year, right? This is Lou Toscano, very well known around town. You former teacher, right?
Correct.
Golf pro.
Correct.
Knows where all the bodies are buried.
Most of them.
Okay, most of them.
Knows where all the soupies are hanging.
Ah,
There you go.
that's a good line for Westerly. We know where all the soupies are hanging. Are you president for just 1 year? Is it a 2-year term?
No, normally it's a 2-year term, but you joked about it, and there is some truth because nobody else would do it. The last time I was president for 8 years.
Oh, good Lord.
But 2 years is a normal term.
Concurrently?
Yeah, right. Yes, one right after
Wow.
another. Yes.
Yeah.
But one of the things I will say is I'm thrilled to be president at this time because the Dante Society in 2025 is celebrating its 50th year in existence.
Right.
So we have decided to plan out a yearly series of events with something going on almost every month to commemorate the great things that the Dante Society does and has done for 50 years now.
That's excellent. And we're going to get into that.
Yep.
But let's begin with, for people who are listening to us from other parts of the country and watching us, and even people here, there are people who don't know what the Dante Society is, or if they do know what it is, they think you have to be Italian. So disabuse people.
No, certainly you do not have to be Italian. Likely have some interest in the Italian culture and language and history, because that's really what the Dante Society is meant to do. That's one of its missions, is to promote and foster Italian culture, Italian language, Italian studies. And over the years, it's claimed to fame. And the best thing that it probably does is we award not really scholarships, but we award monetary amounts to high school graduates who excel in the study of Italian language. fifth-year Italian students receive an amount of money from us at the end of each year to continue their studies in Italian. And if they choose not to continue those studies, they have a little bit of extra money for their college preparation. And we have decided also to extend those awards into the lower grades as well. So we will also give awards to Italian language students all the way down to the 8th grade in
Oh.
differing amounts of money
So
to
do
encourage
they
it.
teach Italian? They teach it at the high school,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And when you're saying down to the 8th grade, they're teaching it at the middle school?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It would kind of figure because this is such a heavily Italian community.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing we
It's
do
a
as
great
well
idea.
is we offer grants to teachers, education grants to teachers who teach Italian to buy supplies, buy speaking programs, buy books and things like that. So our mission is to promote the study of Italian and the Italian language and culture.
All right. I know very little about the Italian language. I took Latin and Spanish, and yet both of those helps. I mean, I can figure out a lot of the words, but the one thing I do know about Italy is that the dialect is different. Whether you're in Tuscany or Calabria or Sicily, it can be entirely different. Is there such a thing as mainstream that's taught here in the schools?
Yes, I think it's called Roman, or
it's the standard
Italian, right?
Actually,
right.
I think really since the turn of the century, or just before that, when Italy was unified as one country, that became the standard language. It's modeled after the Tuscan dialect, and a lot of the dialects are sort of falling by the wayside.
Right.
Although there's still there's now a renewed push to continue the dialect, but most everybody in Italy reads and writes
Correct.
Italian, but may speak their dialect.
Right.
I see.
Correct.
Okay.
To each other.
To each other.
Yeah.
And the people here speak probably Calabrian, correct?
Well, the Calabrian dialect, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I know that most of the people here who speak the Calabrian dialect, if they went to Rome or northern Italy, and they would manage and get by because there are certainly many commonalities in the language. But I know if you listen to them, it doesn't sound anything like the standard Italian that is learned in the high school. Very different.
Yeah.
And also, I would think learned in the high school and then spoken in the home
Yes.
has to be very
Yes.
different as well.
Correct. Correct.
So let's get back to what the Dante Society does. We're going to get to, because you're here for hours and hours. No, you're here till 4:00. So we are going to talk about the events, but
Great.
on a generic, ongoing basis, tell people what the Dante Society does and what membership's all about, what it costs and how you become a member.
Well, I can start as far as what we do and part of my role. As Lou mentioned, we are our mission is to promote the Italian culture throughout the community, and that really means all aspects of the Italian culture. We've had speakers talk about literature, film, history,
Travel.
food, travel,
Music.
music, and when you say culture, we also have had people come in and talk about the Italian American immigrant experience as part of the culture. So it sort of it encompasses a lot, and we have many ways of doing that. And the lecture series is one way, but a lot of the events that we've been working on and partnering with other community groups in town, we are showing our culture and maybe working with other cultures, together. The library has something in the holiday season where they've brought in stories from other cultures and including the Italian culture, and we're
of
part of
course,
that.
You have every month at the library the Irish Coastal Club.
Exactly.
They teach
Right,
the
they teach
language
the
as
language.
well.
Yeah, exactly. I am one of the students who've been taking the Italian classes from that's sponsored by the Dante Society. I've been taking it for several years. We have a great teacher who is a Dante member and lived in Italy for 30 years. So
So are you fluent?
no, but I'm working on it. I'd
But you're
say
conversational.
I would say I'm struggling conversational. We'll find out. I'm going to Italy next month, so we'll see how I do.
Ah.
So,
You know, it's funny. One of the things that's really come to the forefront lately is not only the interest in ancestry and searching for your own ancestry in Italy, but also one of the new things coming up is dual citizenship and how to go about people getting dual
Right.
citizenship. Now, Margaret doesn't know this, but because I just thought of it, that might be something, that might be a program that we would be able to do, is get an expert here to talk about how a person can get dual citizenship. And that, for example, just thinking about that, that would be part of what Margaret's role is as the coordinator of a distinguished lecture series, trying to find someone to do that and to arrange a schedule in a location to have that information given out to everybody.
I would think, knowing this community, that you'd be packed.
yeah.
I
with
would
people.
too.
I would think there'd
It
be a
just-
great deal of interest.
It just so happens I actually am a dual citizen.
You
And
are.
we went through the process actually because my daughter arranged for our entire family to go to Italy and have our citizenship recognized. It's a little bit complicated,
Yeah.
but and there's been some changes recently, but I think that's a great idea, and I believe there may be someone nearby
I think you're right.
who has come to our attention. So that would be a really interesting topic.
Excellent.
So hang in. Everybody's on the edge of their seats now. Hang in for further information.
Okay. All right. Let's get into, if someone wants to be a member of the Dante Society, is it like some of the fancy golf clubs where it's hundreds of thousands of dollars just to join, and then
Not
you have
so
to
much.
spend so much a month? And
No.
No, in the past, when the organization was in its infancy and very small, membership used to be by sponsorship. A member would have a friend who might be interested and would sponsor them to be a member. And we always like to have that. For example, if I know someone who would like to be a member, well, I'll bring their name up and ask them to apply, and that can still go on. But people don't always know every Dante member that exists. So we have a way for people to go online on our website, DanteSocietyWesterly.org, and there is membership information on the website. Dues are nominal, $25 a year.
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And have been since its inception.
You're the best game in town.
Yeah.
If
But
you're driving or listening and you don't have a pen or it's not safe, take a screenshot right now. We have a banner at the bottom of the screen, DanteSociety.org.
Westerly.org. Dante Society, Westerly.org.
Just
Thank you,
kidding.
DJ. But we do ask that, like any organization, Rona, I know you're very involved in the Lions or the Rotary.
Right, Rotary, yeah.
Rotary. You want people in your organization that want to do things. So
Right.
we ask members to participate in attendance at meetings, to participate as volunteers in our functions, if they have special skills, to maybe do a program for us. So we try to make our membership a working membership where you put in some time, because the fee is nominal. So because of that, we hope that people can give up some of their time to help
How
us
many
out.
members do you have right now, approximately?
I think about
Oh,
80 to 100.
Yeah,
80
yeah,
to
right in the
100.
100 range.
Yeah, yeah.
It fluctuates a little bit.
We're right in the end of our annual dues.
Right.
So it's right.
All
yeah.
right, so 80 to 100. And then the next question is always,
How many are active?
about how many do you get to a meeting?
Well, I'll tell you the
active
truth. I'll
members.
tell you the truth. Having more dues paying members now, our meetings, instead of being 10 or 12 people, they're up into the 25 or 30 people
I
now.
think
And that's with
great.
every organization. It's impossible to get
It
everybody
certainly
to
is.
attend meetings. You know
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yes.
So we're thrilled. And although we would like to have people come to meetings, it's more important that they attend our events.
Yeah.
And for instance, on Saturday, when we had Arthur Migliazza do a piano event for us, we had probably 100 people there.
Oh, there
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
hardly an empty
Right,
seat in the
correct. So
library.
that would make us much happier than if we had 50 people at a membership meeting.
Sure,
But-
of course.
Yeah, it
And
seems
I'm
like
sure it made Arthur happy because he sold a bunch of CDs.
Oh yeah, he was thrilled.
he did not expect that. Yeah. Incidentally, Arthur and Nicole are both new members of the Dante Society. So
Right.
that's
Yes,
great.
you mentioned, I didn't
Yeah.
realize Nicole was, but you mentioned that Arthur was a member.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. Well, they're Italian, but you don't have to be
No,
Italian.
you don't
Well,
have to be.
No, and the part of the reason in Nicole's case, we had an event last December as a holiday concert, and it was in the library 2 years ago, very well attended. So we decided to try
The
to,
Troubadour.
Yeah.
the Troubadour
Yeah.
and John Rourke
And John,
Little
yes,
John, yeah.
John was here.
So we decided to try it at the Granite Theater, and it created a situation for us. So we now have a relationship with Nicole and the Granite Theater. Because of that, she and Arthur joined, and now hopefully in the future we'll continue to have maybe events at the theater. It works both ways. We're
Very
thrilled.
good.
We're thrilled, to have
Especially a community like this.
Yes.
Because people do work together
Yes,
so well.
right.
They
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the sexy stuff. Start telling us about all the good stuff you've got upcoming.
All right.
Because she started the other day. Margaret started in the library, and it was
I
just
know,
one
I know.
after the other, after the other. And I thought, my God, there is something truly for everybody.
We can't keep Margaret down.
Well, first of all, I do not get all the credit. I've had a lot of help, and
Do you have this title for year after year, the way Lou does?
I wasn't elected, so I'm not sure how long that
Uh-huh.
means.
Well, neither
But-
was Elon Musk.
Yeah,
You're not
see how
getting
that
rid of
works.
him. So
But I haven't sent out threatening emails yet. Anyway, no, this is actually a team effort. We all work together. I happen to be the one that got in touch with Anthony Caporale, which is our next event is called Chin Chin, an exploration for classic Italian cocktails with Anthony Caporale.
what
and
does chin chin mean? It sounds
it's
Asian.
no,
when you hear
well, it isn't. It's actually the salute or the greeting as you hold your glass, chin chin.
Yeah.
And the tradition is you look the other person in the eye when you tap glasses and say
So it's
chin
like
chin.
cheers or
Yeah.
salute
Yes, exactly,
or
exactly,
mazel tov
Yes.
or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
exactly.
Itadakimasu. Sorry, that's
This
Korean.
this event is we're partnering with the United Theater. In fact, they're including it as part of their Soupy Fest series. So March 9th.
Including everything. Soupy Fest.
Yeah, we're
It's
happy
like a
with
whole
that.
month of this.
Yes. In fact, the United Theater is a great example of a community partner, and we've really been fortunate to work with them. They're very great to work with and to partner with. So the event is March 9th, Sunday at 4 p.m. in the gallery of the United Theater. It's 4 p.m. Tickets are $25 per person, open to anyone over the age of 21. And the tickets are available through the United Theater website. So the event will be Arthur Caporale, who is a professional mixologist, an award-winning mixology author and star of the Imbible series, a long-running off-Broadway musicals about the history of cocktails and spirits. He's going to be talking to us about the history and the ingredients and the cultural significance of classic Italian cocktails. And after he gives his presentation, he'll be preparing 3 cocktails for tasting. And I'm told that it will be a Negroni, a Bicicletta, and a Pear Bellini. And-
I knew
Mm,
Bellini
those are
was
my
going to be part of it.
Pear
those are my
Bellini
favorite.
sounds
Yes,
delicious.
And the Dante Society is going to be providing some snacks to go along with the tasting for that night.
I looked him up the other day. I know Anthony, or as we call him on this side of the river, Anthony. But I looked him up on YouTube, and I found a YouTube bit that he did 11 years ago. And Nicole is in it. Nicole has not aged one bit. You just want to slap her. But there are the stars of Imbible are sitting at the bar, and he's making a Bellini. And I was watching him. He's so good.
I'm really excited to see him in
he
person.
knows
so,
what he's doing, and it was just plain fun.
Yep.
It was just fun to watch. So if it's fun to see something 11 years old
Yeah.
on a screen, you're going to love him in person.
Yeah.
And he's local. He lives in Mystic.
Right. And like I said, he has been very, very gracious and helpful putting this all together and donating his time. So this is going to be a great event, I think. So that's March 9th, Sunday at 4 p.m. and tickets $25 per person on sale through the United website.
Gadget, I'm going to hold this up. Are you getting it in that camera? No.
You can pass it
Do you
down.
want to hold it
Yeah.
up? Gadget?
Okay.
I'll hold it up.
There you go.
Okay.
UnitedTheater.org. Theaters with an R-E. It's at the bottom of your screen now.
Correct.
Okay, and now we go to the River Bar, do we?
The River Bar,
Yeah.
yes. This
So
is
we'll be passing you another one shortly. Or actually, I'll give you my copy.
There you
Let
go.
Margaret talk.
There you go.
Okay.
So this is another exciting event, and this has been pulled together by one of our new members, Pat Eisted, who has basically single-handedly put this together. It's a wine tasting co-sponsored by the River Bar Restaurant and the Wine Store, along with the Dante Society, Wednesday, March 19th at 5 p.m. at the River Bar in the upstairs dining room. Tickets are $45 per person, and those tickets you can purchase on the Dante Society website. That's dantesocietywesterly.org. The River Bar has generously offered to donate a percentage of dinner proceeds to the Dante Society for anyone who makes a dinner reservation that evening and mentions the Dante Society. So we encourage those attending the wine tasting to stay and have dinner, or anyone who isn't able to come on by and have dinner with them, and just be sure to say you're with the Dante Society when making your reservation or being seated. So that is
a
very
good thing,
generous of them.
It sure is.
I also want to give a big shout out to the Wine Store. The Celico family has been longtime supporters of the Dante Society and are always so generous with us. Tim Celico has hand selected the wines for the tastings. We're going to be doing 5 wines, and each will be served with a small plate food pairing that will be done by the River Bar. So that should be great. I think it's 2 whites and 3 reds. Guest sommelier for the event is Lindsay Colucci, and she's the assistant food and beverage manager at the Shelter Harbor Golf Club. And Lindsay moved to Wesley in 2015 from Martha's Vineyard. She started working at the Shelter Harbor Golf Club around that time, and since then she's studied the art and science of wine and has reached advanced levels from both the Court of Master Sommeliers and the Wine and Spirits Education Trust. And she's really happy to share her passion and knowledge with others. So that should be a very, very exciting evening.
It sounds like a lot of fun. It really does.
Again, limited seating on this. I should have mentioned on the Chin Chin, there's, I think, 50 tickets.
Because it's in the gallery.
It's in the
right?
gallery, so that's
Right.
limited seating. Here we only have 40 seats available, and they are going fast. So I suggest you get online to dantesocietywesterly.org and get your tickets soon. I think that this wine tasting event is going to be really fun, and we're hoping it leads to other opportunities to partner with other folks in town. So it
Sure.
should be really good.
Great. Okay, before we take our break, we've got about 5 minutes. So what do you have for 5 minutes? I know they just keep coming, Margaret, don't they?
The next up is the month of April, partnering with the United Theater. We'll be featuring 4 Italian films. This is a part of their regular Monday Rewind series. So each Monday in April 7th, Roman Holiday with Audrey Hepburn
Oh
and
my
Gregory
God.
Peck.
I was a little girl when that came out. Wow.
April 14th will be Cinema Paradiso. I believe that's the 1988 version. April 21st, The Big Night, which is 1996. That's with Tony Shalhoub and Stanley Tucci. That's a really fun movie. And then April 28th, Enchanted April. So that's
Enchanted April.
Enchanted
that one
April.
I have not heard
Oh,
of.
you will love it.
That's it. Yeah. So this rewind series that the United does on Mondays, they showed film in the afternoon and again in I think it's 1:30 and 6 or 1 and 6. Double check.
1
the-
and 6:45.
Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
if you're
Okay.
a senior, it's free.
It's
Right.
free
isn't
if
it?
you're
Right.
if you're a senior.
How great is that?
Yeah. So that's a
Yeah,
that's
my
a great
good friend
opportunity.
Cal Lord goes there with his wife on Mondays for
You know,
free to see the movies. He loves it.
We have had the Italian Cinema Festival or movies for a long time now, but if you know anything about Italian cinema, those movies, as wonderful as they don't have wide appeal. So we thought this was great because these movies are in English, except for Cinema Paradiso. So they'll have a little more appeal. They're a little lighter and more humorous than many of the other Italian movies that are, kind of known to be a little dark. And
Why do you think it doesn't have wide appeal? They're not marketed well, or?
Well, I think part of it is because they often deal with very difficult events. For instance, one was shown that was set around World War II, and it was talked about fascists and Nazis, and that's very dark, and people don't need that right now. And the other part of it is, I think subtitles are not appealing to everybody.
I was going to ask, are there subtitles for the Italian one?
For Cinema
For
Paradiso,
the-
yes, there will
Just
be,
that
yes.
one.
Just that one, because the rest of the others this time are in English.
That's good.
So Dante Society has been doing movies in one form or another for a long time, and the idea of being able to do every Monday in a month for the spring and pick lighter movies.
I think the cool thing about it, though, is I know there's a lot of Westerly and Pawcatuck children that are homeschooled.
Yeah.
And this would
Still.
be like a perfect field trip. This is not a movie. Like you said, this is not something you would see in America just off the cuff. Like,
Right.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And and we have a good relationship with the Italian teachers at the high school, and these movies that are going to be in the evening, especially Cinema Paradiso, would be ideal for those kids to come to in the evening when they're you said something before, Rona, not knowing that it would apply here, but one of the difficult things with the movies is licensing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
our ability to coordinate with the United Theater, they have an ability to get access to more movies than the Dante Society as an organization might. So,
Well, obviously, the older the movie, the cheaper the licensing.
sure.
In most cases.
Yeah.
Are they? I'll ask you off air.
Okay.
Okay, this will be a good time then to take a break. We're going to go to a short break, listen to some of our local sponsors. We will be back with Margaret Sano and Lou Toscano from the Dante Society. And just remember, you don't have to be Italian to join the Dante Society.
Grazie.
We'll be right back on Man About Town.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is, right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
G&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Wood River House is my home for house.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Crow, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be your home for health.
We are back at Mann About Town, albeit in a different chair, but it doesn't roll.
And I was going to run a contest. What's different?
Sorry.
One of these things is not like the other.
I tend to roll in chairs. This one is unrollable or ill-rollable or whatever, but it's got a nice dog next to it.
Aw,
Anyway,
like that.
you are with Man About Town at 321 Media. We're in downtown Westerly. We're here with the Dante Society with distinguished lecture series head broad.
Sure, close enough.
I was doing okay. Margaret Sano. And with the president of the Dante Society, because nobody else wanted it.
No, because I wanted it.
No, I know you are very invested in it.
He
and
loves
that's
you
great.
all just the way you are.
That's
And
right.
that is Lou Toscano. Okay, or do you say Toscano?
Toscano.
Because
Toscano.
everybody in this town
I know
says
it.
it differently.
I know.
I mean, my good friend at the men's store, it's Toscano.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a little
it was-
Americanized.
Yeah,
yeah.
But Sano and Toscano.
Yes, in fact, that's a good
Right?
point. My sisters have changed the pronunciation to Sanos because they feel like people will spell it properly, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Our name is Sano.
Yeah, it should be what your name
That's
is.
right.
And people are, well, we will move along.
That's a different kind of
Are
show.
we up to Joe Luzzy now?
We are.
Which
So
means we're up to April. We're only up to April, and these guys have something going. You must be having a big party for the 50th, aren't you?
We'll get
talk
to
about
that,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, hang in.
Okay.
So Saturday, April 19th at the Westerly Library, we have Professor Joseph Luzzy, who's going to be joining us once again. This time he'll be discussing his latest work, which is a new translation of Dante's Vita Nuova. This is part of our distinguished lecture series, and it's co-hosted with the Westerly Library. So that's Saturday, April 19th at 1 p.m. in the auditorium on the second floor, free and open to the public. That is the day before Easter, so just plan your Easter baking accordingly so you can get to the library. Very important.
And bring some with you.
That's fine. Yep, that's good. Professor Luzzy is a professor of literature at Bard College and an award-winning writer, teacher, and scholar of Italian culture, and a Westerly native. He previously joined us in November of 2022 and had everyone in that packed auditorium totally enthralled with his dynamic speaking style. And
Did he not also have something to do with URI at one point?
I'm not sure.
So.
I
That
know
might be-
Bard,
So,
but
No, that may be
don't-
someone
I may
else,
be
but
confusing him
Yeah.
with someone
Yeah.
else. I don't want to do that.
But I have to say, he was one of the first lectures that I had gone to at the library, and he had all of us just spellbound with his stories about what his book was about. His book is more academic, but everybody in that audience, many of them were related to him, but everybody was just fascinated with.
So he's a
great-
good story.
Oh,
he's
he's a
natural.
great
natural.
storyteller. Yeah,
he's a natural.
great
Yeah,
speaker.
it's great.
So really excited about that. You know, in the last few years, we've had speakers, as I mentioned, on varied topics, promoting different aspects of Italian culture. And as the distinguished lecture series coordinator, I'm always happy to have any suggestions for ideas for speakers or topics. So if anybody wants to share any idea, you can go onto our website and there's a form where you can fill in for comments or suggestions, whatever. You can put it right in there and that will get to me. So I'm happy to hear anybody's ideas. So
That's great. And obviously, it doesn't have to be based on an Italian subject, but it would help. Right?
Well, I mean, I'll give you an example. When we talked to Arthur Migliazza, we were trying to figure out a way to make a connection with Italians and jazz.
He found
Well,
one.
he found one. It was a miracle.
It was great. Yeah.
But the main thing was that Arthur is a well-respected, citizen with Italian descent who has a special skill. So that would apply as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Italian local artists. That would be fun.
That would
Yeah.
that would be very good. It really could be any aspect of the Italian culture or, an Italian American who
Have
brings
you
that
had a
skill.
chef?
Oh, well, we have a cooking demonstration every year, Rona, where we have a chef from a local restaurant or organization do a demonstration for us. That's our biggest fundraiser. I will talk about that in a little bit once Margaret finishes up with Joe Luzzi. I can talk more about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's really it for Joe Luzzi. And like I said, that's April 19th, the Saturday right before Easter. And I think that wraps up April, although like you said, it is very busy, but we're moving right on to May.
And we are going to have Joe Luzzi here.
Yes.
April 9th.
I believe April
19th,
9th at 3. Yep.
No.
you are.
He's going to do an
great. Oh,
interview.
wonderful.
Yeah, he's going to do an interview with
Yeah, I
us.
believe the 3:00 hour.
I think so.
As it gets closer, we'll let people know.
Yep.
Yes.
Definitely. That should be good. And then rolling right into fried dough breakfast. This will be our second annual, and that's on May 18th. And Lou, do you want to fill in on
Yes,
that?
I will. Before we do that, I just want to emphasize that I'm going to go back a little bit to March, only because this just came about in the last day or two. And I will preface everything I say next, subject to change and updating. So most of the information is correct as I say, but there might be slight changes here or there. So what I would suggest to everybody is if you have a question, look on the website, see the changes, and use the contact availability on the website to ask questions if there's anything that you're not sure of.
And the website's always up to date.
Yes.
Good.
So one of the things we talked about earlier was Italian language classes. Our instructor is going to begin some more classes starting on March 27th. And they'll run 3 different sessions, 2 beginner sessions. One beginner is like a beginner level 3 session, but still a beginner session. So 2 sessions on Thursdays beginning March 27th. Another session on Mondays beginning March 17th, and another intermediate session on Tuesdays beginning March 18th. They run for 6 weeks, and there is a cost because the instructor, it's a lot of work and a lot of effort to create these classes. And so
Where is this taught?
that's
The
going to be
library?
taught. No, it's going to be at the Westerly Senior Center.
Huh.
They've been another great organization that we've partnered with. We have our memberships meetings there, and we have the Italian classes there.
Great.
So again, that is one thing that is not exact on the website yet, but it will be in the next day or 2.
Yeah, I think that Thursday, March 27th, that's a true beginner class.
Right.
And I know that that's going to be open very soon for signups, and there should be room. So if someone wants to really just start at the basics, that's a great opportunity to get into it.
Yeah. So now,
Same teacher for all the classes?
same teacher for all the classes. Yep. Name is Gail Restivo.
Bueno.
Yeah.
No.
And
Buono.
Buono, yeah. And then now we're into
Just sit there and do your thing.
You give
now
me caffeine.
we're into May. And as Margaret said, in May, on Sunday, May 18th, we scheduled a fried dough breakfast at
It's
the
not
Calabrese
Mother's
Club.
Day, is it?
Nope.
No,
we
it's
made
the week
sure.
after. We made sure. Yeah. That is at the Calabrese Club, Tickets are available online. No, I'm
No.
sorry. Tickets are not available online. Tickets are available from Dante members, and we may put them out in 1 or 2 locations in town. If people maybe at the chamber will have some available, but that's an example of one of the updates that we'll try to have.
Of course, if you come to
but
Professor Ludzie's lecture, we'll be selling tickets then.
correct. And this is a kind of event where walk-ins are okay. At the door, ticket sales are okay. So that's the fried dough breakfast on Sunday, May 18th, from 8 to 11 at the Calabrese Club.
And I would imagine you do very well with that.
It was the first year last year, and we did very well with it. We're thrilled to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, you had me at fried dough.
Yeah, I know it. I know it. Now, I mentioned to you before that normally in October, we have a cooking demonstration.
Right.
But this year, because we have so many events, and some of them do cost money, we want it to be kind of
Spread it
a
out.
little bit. Yeah, spread it out a little bit. So what we've decided to do is not have our cooking demonstration in October for 2 reasons. One, in October, we will have our 50th anniversary banquet on Friday, October 3rd. And at that banquet, we will honor some special people that I can't name yet because not all of them have been notified, but it will be something special for the community when we get that information out there.
Very
But
good.
that's our 50th anniversary banquet on Friday, October 3rd at the Havisham. In place of the cooking demonstration, we've decided that we will sponsor in August a pasta dinner and meatball challenge. We've named it after our good longtime member, Johnny Ventilato, and we're calling it the Johnny V Meatball Challenge.
Johnny's a friend of mine. I didn't know.
Yes,
that.
this just occurred in the last 10 days or so.
Wow.
So what we're going to do is ask 3 restaurants to make a few hundred meatballs. We're going to serve the pasta and those meatballs. People are going to choose the meatball they like best, vote for that meatball, and then we'll make a special award for the winner of the meatball challenge.
It's going to be a blind tasting in that you don't have to,
about
no,
to
you won't have
ask.
to be blindfolded, but
Right.
No.
the meatballs will be identified.
By
hopefully
red,
with
white, and green flags.
Yeah, little flags.
Is Longo's going to be part of
can't-
this?
I don't know
We
if we
can't
know
tell
that
you
yet.
that. We can't tell you that.
It's
But
a
we're trying to
secret.
do 3 restaurants this year. Next year, hopefully, it'll be a success. We'll do 3 different ones. And,
The reason I
I
asked
know.
is the newest resident in Westerly, who's here for Soupy too, Steve Sharippa.
Yep.
There was a whole thing online and in the paper that his favorite meatball in the world
Longo's.
is
Yes.
Longo's.
So
We
we'll
shall
have to
see.
consider that.
We'll
but
have to see.
Yeah,
we
see
don't
how
want
that
to.
goes.
We don't want to spill the beans just yet.
Okay.
Don't spill the meatballs.
No, don't spill the
Um,
meat.
Do we have a date?
Yes,
August, you
that is
August 20th?
August 20th
What's my date?
at the Calabrese Club.
And that'll be at the Calabrese.
Yeah.
Club, yeah.
So now the great thing that's going to happen in October as well is one of our members, Vito DiPaolo, has been working tirelessly to create Italian family histories, local Italian families talking about their immigration experience and their history growing up in Westerly and being part of our community. And he's creating a series of posters with information and photos, and all of those will go into the Hoxie Gallery at the library
Oh.
for the whole month of October.
I saw
So-
him taking pictures on
Yeah,
Saturday
right,
at the
right.
library.
Yeah.
So this
yeah,
is
he's-
something special that he's going to feature probably a half a dozen or more local families. But the other thing is that we are going to ask local families who have history of their own and would like to write something up or include some photos in a story to get them to us. You
Uh-huh.
can contact, go on the website, put in contact and ask for information about how those stories can be submitted, and we'll include those in our display at the Hoxie Gallery. There's a rich history of Italian immigration in Westerly.
For those who may not be directly from here. The Hoxie Gallery, you hear about once a month when our library folks are here. It's on the second floor of the Westerly Library, and it's a great gallery. It's always free, and that's a great place to have it.
Yeah, we think it's going to be something very special. And again, more information about that will come out as we get closer and closer to the event.
Good.
The other events kind of wrapping up the year at this point is sometime in December, probably the middle of the month, the 10th of December. We'll have a holiday concert. Last year it was the Troubadour and Little John. Hopefully we'll snag them again, but if not, it'll be something different.
People want them back.
I know,
I've
they
heard
agree.
a lot of comment.
Yeah. And then going into January, we have an event that will take place on January 3rd called Celebrate La Befana, in which we have stories and crafts about La Befana, the good witch of Italy who leaves presents for children, candy and oranges for children on Epiphany. And that will take place at the library as well. And again, information about that will be forthcoming.
Lord, you just whipped through a year.
I know.
2026.
Yeah, I know. And then, we're keeping our fingers crossed, there could be more added. It's
just so great to have an organization that does something. Because there are, unfortunately, plenty of them that they just collect dues and they every now and then do something.
We're making a DJ Gadget Club. I just collect dues. I was learning how to spell La Befana from Google. Where is that?
La Befana will be at the library.
This will actually, we've had 2 years so far, and I think the attendance was bigger this year than last year.
And one of the things that happened this year as well, as Margaret kind of mentioned, not only did we have a story about La Befana, but we had a woman come in, I forgot her name, I'm sorry about that, who did Ukrainian folk tales and a puppet show. So we were able to celebrate other things the way the holidays are celebrated in another part of the world.
Are you going to have someone actually embody La Befana?
Well, 2 years ago, the librarian did it. But I read the story this year, and who knows, maybe DJ will do it.
I would do it.
There you go.
I'm very witchy.
Yeah, good witchy.
Good witchy.
Yeah. Witches don't have dreadlocks.
You don't know.
It could happen.
So
it could happen.
The most important thing I can emphasize is that these things are dynamic. The details might change a little tiny bit, but most of them are locked in and we're ready to go. But follow up on the website especially, and things will be updated. If there are any questions, use the contact link on the website and send your question in, and we will do our best to get back to you as soon as possible.
So the Dante Society is locked and loaded.
I think so, yeah.
And maybe a few more things. I know I'm working on a couple of more lectures for the fall. Not quite sure yet. Have a couple of ideas, and we just have to lock those in. And
we also want to try to have a movie solely for children. We want to try to develop a children's movie too, whether it's done with the United or at the library. We want to have a children's movie as well, and that'll take place sometime later in the year.
Great. Now this would be an Italian movie?
Probably not. Maybe something like Pinocchio or something with an Italian
Great if you
theme.
could find like Italian animation or
Yes,
something.
and there are many out there, but with children,
sure.
with children, subtitles are really hard because of the reading.
Learn to
aspect,
read
but-
or don't have fun. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want subtitles. Although I would think you get little kids, they're just going to watch.
They're going to watch it. Yes, right.
You know, they're going to care about the color, the action, more than what's being said. But that's great.
So be prepared for anything.
I love this witch one. That is exciting.
Have you seen the picture? Have you looked up La Befana?
Well, yeah, I had to figure out. So we
Fascinating.
have a little scrolling thing going on here with all of the ones that I could type out, and I've been typing this whole show. So all of the where to get tickets, the dates, the times, where they're at.
Great.
And you said La Befana, and my head exploded. I'm like, how the heck do you spell that?
I haven't
heard of La Befana before.
I've never heard of that.
I knew she was a witch.
I love Christmas lore.
That's
All
right.
of it.
That's
All
right.
of it.
You made me wear my Santa hat last time I visited you.
Yes.
I have in front of me a calendar of those events. Soon they will be placed in the newspaper on a regular basis. So follow the Westerly Sun and you'll see those events listed there. And again, as I said, they're on the website and updated as often as possible.
And you are always welcome here.
Well, we'll
Thank
come
you.
back.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We'll come back.
absolutely.
We
Only
also-
if you're invited.
We also put our events up on the Wesley Chamber of Commerce website. So anyone, visitors to town, will hopefully be able to see all of our events, including some of our dinners and breakfasts and stuff. So
Do you have a presence during, say, Sunday Fun Day in the fall? Do you have a booth? Are you in the light parade? Where people will get even more of a presence and find out what's happening?
We haven't yet. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
We
we actually talked about it. Not quite sure
Yeah.
how to get all of that to happen, but that's something we're working
But
on.
I know we've had a presence in the trunk or treat that takes
Yes.
place on Halloween
Right.
downtown. So we've done that, and we'll continue to do so.
One of the things in the community, there's a consortium of nonprofits, and the Dante Society has a representative to that group, and they exchange ideas. Sometimes they exchange needs for volunteers and stuff like that. So oftentimes that person will bring back to the Dante Society the request for volunteers to help out other community groups, and we've had some pretty good participation in that. So happy to do that.
Now,
happy to do that.
Rona, from being involved in things that Westerly and the organizations in Westerly are always doing some kind of events. And sometimes it's very difficult to decide which event you want to attend or
That's
can
the
attend.
problem. There's 5 things on the same day that you want to go to.
So we've done everything in our power to kind of coordinate and make sure that these events are not competing with other things, but it could happen down the road.
Of course, because there may be other organizations who haven't been as forward thinking as you and jump in and say, hey, May 18th, let's do this.
I think it's always good to have multiple options because
I do
say you
too.
go to a huge event, it's too much, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Maybe go listen to an Italian story at the library and calm down, but still have a nice weekend or a day
I
out.
agree.
Or have some drinks with Anthony
That's
Caporelli.
right. I think one of the things that we've really been working on is this cooperation with other groups, and so we can get the word out through our group, through our membership, and sort of spread the word across the generations and across the community interests. And I think some of the activities we have, especially with Anthony and then the wine tasting, that has wide appeal, not just to us seniors.
When you mentioned the Ukrainian woman who came in, it's so great to get into people's cultures. I mean, like DJ likes all the different Christmas cultures, but I think the cultures are great all the time. And when you can learn something or experience something from another culture, it's wonderful.
Yes,
for sure.
It really is.
One of the things that Dante Society has been talking about for years, probably since its inception, was a way to get younger members.
Every organization,
is doing that. So
I haven't heard one nut say that.
La Bafana.
So
that's how.
Well,
you're really
you're really.
I am. It's new.
It's true because what will happen is the children will come, but generally speaking, their parents are going to be younger than many of the Dante members now. So, Dante is not. It's a great organization, but it's not an organization that, generally speaking, has a wide appeal to younger people. It's not fast moving. It's not, energetic, but it's full of great events. Yeah. So we would hope that over time, the organization gets some younger members because that is what's going to eventually make it continue.
I think something that's important to younger people right now, especially for a lot of reasons, is finding out where they're from and why that's important.
Yes.
There's a huge pull to search for where am I from and how do I fit here.
Yes.
And I think the Dante Society has a plethora of things to offer them.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly one of the things that
And it
we're
doesn't
trying to do.
hurt that you're in Westerly. I mean, Westerly is so very Italian.
I mean, where do you find the Italians around here to like have these events for?
Funny how that
Where
is. Yeah.
are the fact that you're Dante Society Westerly? Are there other Dante societies around the country?
There is a national and international
It's hard to believe
association.
there'd be a Dante
We-
Society in the middle of Iowa. It just doesn't fit.
we are not we are a local group. We are not associated with or part of the affiliation of the National Dante Society, but have similar mission, similar goals.
So you don't have
So
to pay their dues.
that's probably-
or any of
yeah.
that.
Right, that's the whole
That's
thing.
a good thing.
and we can do a lot more partnering with people in town
There-
and do what we want.
At one time, there was a very, very active Dante Society in New London, but they kind of aged out, and there wasn't enough interest in the older people. There wasn't a great increase in younger members, so they just kind of, not for lack of a better word, died out.
Yeah.
But
These
they were
drinking
very
events will
active.
help.
That's what
Well,
I'm thinking.
Definitely. Oh yeah, I think that's great. I really do.
And we are really reaching out as much as possible to the Italian students. They've been to several of our lectures.
Yeah.
The Italian teachers have been great about bringing groups to some of our events. So hopefully that will inspire people to.
Well, of course,
Yeah.
the students can't go to the ones with the drink.
Right.
No, but there are other events, the movies.
Sure.
Last year, last fall, we had one of the professors from URI who's responsible for he's head of the international education, students who want to go and study abroad in
Right.
Italy.
Right.
And he gave a really nice talk on what kinds of opportunities are
Right.
there. And so that was good, for all of us to hear, but certainly for students who might be interested in that gave them an opportunity to hear what's out there, what kind of opportunities are out there. So
That's great. Well, Margaret Sano
very good.
and Lou Toscano, and I say to make everybody's family happy, thank you so much. You have just filled us with information. Gadget, it's great that you've got all that you put. You have been working this whole time.
It is,
It
yeah,
is.
it's not
I've been
stop.
watching. She
Took
has.
I've
away
missed
from
a
your
few.
coloring.
I have also missed a few. So there's also Dante Society Westerly.org at the bottom of your screen. Take a screenshot, visit it later, and you'll get them all in the next few days. At least they'll all be updated.
Beautiful.
Judith Toscano says Dante's schedule for the year is also posted on their Facebook and Instagram pages. You guys didn't
oh,
even
that's
my
mention
wife. Yeah,
that.
I know
Yeah.
it. Yes.
That is good
She
to know.
doesn't
in
miss
trouble.
I'm in trouble now. Yeah.
And
But that, yes, that's great. She's our secretary, and she is really great about posting things online.
we also have some Italian Santa Claus fans.
Oh,
Steve
good.
Spartano says, "Sweet Lou, the best Italian Santa Claus in town."
Oh, that's Steve?
Yeah,
Steve
Steve, yeah.
Spartano?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's nice. Thank you.
I love when people comment. About time, guys.
Wonderful. We're going to take a short break now, and we're going to switch up. Our wonderful dog, Roxy the radio dog, is going to bring in our next guest, Lisa Konicki from the Chamber.
All right.
And if you didn't think you heard enough events from
I
the
know.
Dante Society, you're going to hear one after the other with our Ocean Community Chamber. So thank you again.
Thank you.
This is Man About Town on 321 Media. We broadcast live and stream live from downtown Westerly. This is your opportunity to go to the bathroom and come back for Lisa. We'll be back.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance. and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Duns Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Duns Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Thanks. See you. Take care.
Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive.
Wood River House is my home for house.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Croak, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be.
Are you a farmer, forest owner, or community gardener in Washington or Kent County, Rhode Island? Do you work with NRCS programs like EQIP, CSP, AMA, or other Farm Bill programs? We want to hear from you. Join us for the local working group meeting on February 22nd from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at Ludit Library, 274 Victory Highway, West Greenwich, Rhode Island. Your feedback helps shape conservation funding in our community. Register now and take the survey at tinyurl.com/SRICD input. We'll see you there.
And we're back, gang. Welcome back in for our final hour of Mann About Town from 321 Media in downtown Westerly. We are here with Lisa Konicki. It seems like you were just here a week or two ago. That's the thing about February.
But it's been a month.
Sure, it's been a whole month. And you went off to some wonderful Caribbean island and came back brown and happy and adorable and
relaxed.
You look relaxed.
Thanks.
You do. But you've got all these events coming up to unrelax you. Well, and I'm going to turn my chair. So you might as well start and tell us all the things you've got going. I know you've got Trashin' coming up, and you're not doing Sunday Fun Day in the spring, are you?
We are.
You are. Yay!
Yes, I'm sure Grace will text me the dates for that if she's listening. But it's basically the 3 Sundays in May that precede Memorial Day weekend. Because on Memorial Day weekend, we're very tied up with the art festival.
So that would be 4, 11, and 18.
Yeah, sounds about right. She's booking bands and signing up businesses that want a free
Mother's Day will be one of them.
Yeah, sounds like, yeah, it does fall in there. So we did a survey after last year's Sunday Fun Day. The fall season was over, to ask businesses if it was still meeting their objectives. Were they still getting an increase in business from this activity? Because of course we close the street, and we want to make sure that when you take an action like that, that it's really worth it for those businesses that are affected by it. So we did a survey of about, I believe it was 32 businesses responded. We did everyone downtown in that area, all the way down to Canal Street. And 31 of the 32 said, absolutely, definitely keep doing it. I want it again.
Wow.
One who is not located in the area where the street is closed for the event, but is outside of it by, we'll say, 6-8 spaces down the street.
Okay.
That one said, I really would prefer that you don't. I know it's good for all my neighbors. My customers prefer to not have to drive around the park to get to me. They prefer to just drive straight through on
Sure.
on High Street. So while they can get to me and the street's not closed in front of that business, there was a convenience factor cited concern
Okay.
on there. So, every viewpoint is valid and every viewpoint needs to be considered, but 31 to 1, there will be Sunday fun days.
Okay.
All right.
Very good.
Yeah, we do obviously this time of year have lots of things going on, lots of events in the works. Two things that we're working on now that are not events are our 2 annual publications. So they
Right.
come out in April. So this is the time right now where we are writing articles, gathering photos, working on layout, working with the sales team that's selling ads, and just doing everything to make sure that our 2 publications that come out are really beautiful and represent this community in the
They
best
always
possible
are,
light.
though. They always manage to be, especially when you've got the photographs that people send in.
Yeah, if you haven't sent in a photograph and you would like to, think about it. We'll credit your company or yourself, with your name or your business name, and it's kind of a nice honor to have your picture be selected by the editorial team to go in the magazine. It can be a little thrill for people, but yeah,
Well, you give them a credit, right? A photo credit.
Yeah. Yep. So that can be fun. And of course, the pictures that we're looking for are landscape, beach scenes, park scenes, event scenes.
Not a picture of their family sitting around eating hot dogs.
I would love to see those pictures, but they're not going to make it in the magazine.
Right.
So you've got to show candids. Your
Sure.
kid from behind jumping in the waves, that's fine.
Right.
But something where they're posing, for grandma in a picture, that's just not going to work.
Right.
The second publication that we're working on with overlapping deadlines right now is our annual membership directory. And I need to talk to you when the show's over.
Yes.
We have an outstanding issue on that. So our annual membership directory basically tells the community, these are our members. These are the people investing in the betterment of the local economy. Please support them. And there's profiles of the various communities we serve. So Richmond, Hopkinton, Westerly, Stonington. Information if you were interested in starting a business, what are the resources that are available to you, whether that's at the state level or the local level. It might be grants, it might be
You've always helped
free
people
programs
who are thinking of coming here to open a business. You're always willing to sit down with them and talk with them. I remember that.
We love when we can help them be efficient with their time and get them as many answers in one stop as possible, and help them evaluate whether or not it's a good idea to pursue a business at all, let alone a particular type of business at a particular location at this particular point in time. So things like demographics come into play, competition, how much capital is required, all those things. The economy, there's a lot. There's a lot of moving parts, but there's nothing more satisfying than helping an entrepreneur or a aspiring entrepreneur get the idea that they've been dreaming about to the point where you're having a ribbon cutting with them. We absolutely love that. So those
and
are
you've had a few lately, a few ribbon cuttings.
Yep. There's seems to be one
great.
right after another. No, you got to love it.
They're delicious. I mean, great.
They're delicious. Okay.
I go to the food ones, obviously.
All right. Well, sometimes there's food at them, not all. So then back to some of the events, even though it's only February, all the work for things like the duck race are taking place now. That's in April. So if your school or nonprofit is interested in selling ducks and you would like to be a part of that event, making money for your nonprofit, let us know. We would be thrilled to have you be a part of it. I'll have Des get in touch with you. The event itself is April 26th, and we're in the heart of downtown on the river that joins Westerly and Pawcatuck together. Just slightly before that is our annual Easter egg hunt. So
so you're looking for
we're
candy.
looking for candy that does not contain nuts or peanut butter,
Individually wrapped.
and we're also accepting the colorful plastic eggs. So we have some volunteers that will help us stuff the candy in the eggs. There's always some that we buy. I bought a bunch yesterday from Rhode Island community assisting those in need. They had some brand new eggs in bags. It was a way for us to support that worthy nonprofit organization.
That's right. They had a ribbon cutting, a reopening
for their enlarged pantry and retail shop.
Nice.
Which is beautiful and worth checking out if you haven't been there.
What's the date of the Easter egg hunt?
The Easter egg hunt is April 5th, and that's in Wilcox Park. And it's broken up by age groups so that the 3-year-old isn't participating in the same race, obviously, with the 9-year-old.
But you don't have a 37-year-old age group.
No, we have to cut that off somewhere. So the fun for them is more a little bit later in the calendar when we have Fashion Trashin' or Fusion. So Fashion Trashin' is a one-time event this year. We dusted it off and brought it back because we haven't done it for 5 years. And it's all part of our 100th anniversary celebration where we're kind of going retro. We're bringing old things back and deciding to give them a fresh look for one time only. We've got about 20 individuals that will be modeling so far at Fashion Trashin', and they'll be wearing articles of clothing that were made using recycled materials. So in most cases, they represent businesses.
What's the date on that, Lisa?
That's April 24th. So 2 days before the duck race.
Wow.
So April's a very busy month.
Every month.
I know.
You guys, it's a busy month.
It is. So that is something that's not too late to get involved in. In fact, when I was at the Rycan Food Pantry yesterday, I couldn't help but notice that they had giant bags of, for example, oranges in like that netting, that orange netting. And I'm looking at the bags thinking, as soon as they cut that bag open for the oranges, they're going to throw that netting out. And I'm thinking that netting would be really cute on like a fascinator.
Yeah,
or
that's right.
It could be added to a skirt to enhance it, or my mind is in Fashion Trashin' mode. I'm starting to see things that I know are gonna.
You're not dumpster diving at night.
No,
I would hope not.
No, I'm not doing that. There's
these legs sticking up in Stonington.
Yeah, no. There's enough materials that all of our businesses utilize on a regular basis that if we, kind of take a look around us, and we can be clever and resourceful and put something together. So I have no idea what I'm going to put together yet. I haven't even started it. Whereas in the past, I would spend, 4 or 5 months. So I got to get with the program, as they say, but we'll get there. It's not too late for anyone else that would like to participate as well.
Well, you are, aren't you? Gadget?
You'll have to go to find out.
Oh, I'm excited. It's going to be at the United Theater, and we'd like to thank them for sharing their beautiful space with us. And then on the 9th of May is Fusion. So right now is that time where we are accepting painters who have experience painting and would like to body paint. For those of you out there who just think it would be fun to put paint on a brush and paint a male or female from the community, you actually have to be a professional painter to participate. And we're looking for models. Some of the painters bring their own models with them, friends or colleagues. Others look to us to provide those models. So if getting your body painted is on your bucket list, now's a good time to reach out to Grace at the Chamber at 401-596-7761, and we'll do our best to get you matched.
Is Gadget going to make her normal offer?
$5,000 donation to the chamber.
Wait a minute, it used to be 1,000.
Wow, why is it going up?
I gained weight. There's more of me to go around.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well,
but you have always said that the artists like all shapes,
absolutely,
all types, all colors.
Oh yeah.
We've
had plus size models. We've had petite models. We've had Caucasian. We've had African American. We've had everything in between. You name it. Everybody's welcome. Sometimes they'll pick a petite person just because it's faster and easier, less paint, less landscape to cover.
I got a big canvas going on.
Yeah,
just wallpaper them.
It's sometimes they'll pick a couple, a male and a female, and they'll have them work together. There's all kinds of things. We had a husband and wife. They were teachers. They did a great job. So all kinds of combinations, and that is a fun night because Fusion is playing. Sugar is playing, and they, you cannot stand still when Sugar is playing. So you'll be up and you'll be dancing, listening to their music. There'll be all kinds of foods available from some of the area restaurants, and then you get to watch this sort of artistic process unfold right in front of your eyes. And it's definitely one of my favorite events of the year. It's a great time.
That's April 9th.
That is May 9th.
May 9th.
Yeah.
You're killing me, Lisa.
Please don't put anything else in.
We're done with April.
In April, yeah, yes. Okay. Can't handle it. Can't handle April. Now, I would never normally be talking about something that's happening in the holiday season in February, but the cat was let out of the bag recently that we're doing a Nutcracker Trail for the community. And so
you mentioned it when you were here last month.
Yep.
Too.
So we have about 20 of the 100 Nutcrackers left. The rest that's it. The rest are spoken for.
Oh, that cat went right out of the bag.
So if you're interested in having a 6-foot custom painted and decorated artisan Nutcracker made with your chosen colors from your business or your home, even maybe you have a Victorian style Christmas theme and you want them to create it that way, and it would be on display downtown and then go to your home and you would own it permanently. We have a few families that have sponsored Nutcrackers. Wow. It's a real community project. It's a way for us to engage local artists and to pay them for their work. So these are commissioned artists. I had one go out today for Rotako Electric. They got a wonderful artist named Mary Farrell, who is going to do an Uncle Sam themed Nutcracker for Rotako Electric.
That's going to be great.
It's going to be amazing. Hoofs is in, and they're doing a Grinch themed Nutcracker. Century Point is doing a Santa Claus themed Nutcracker. Someone else I talked to today is contemplating Heat Miser from Heat Miser, Cold Miser. And then some are, of course, just classic and beautiful. There's a mermaid. There's all kinds. So depending on what your theme is, I can match you with an artist that can help make your vision come to fruition.
That's great.
And November 30th, we'll be back at the United, where all of them will be on display, and then they'll be throughout the town. But the reason we're talking about it now in February is it takes months for these things to get designed. So we need the sponsors to step up.
And you've only got 20 left.
Yes. So
how much are they?
So before I say the price, because again, we pride ourselves on representing small businesses and keeping things as affordable as possible, I'm going to back into the price.
Okay.
The Nutcrackers that we are using, the cheapest one we've purchased is $460. The one that's the most amount is $513. Okay. We have to pay the artists. So the artists are getting between $200, $225, depending on what kind of supplies are needed. I think there's one that's at the $250 because they're doing a snow globe on the head of the Nutcracker. So they're adding on to it. So So you start adding those numbers together, and then you factor in the acquisition costs of the chamber. And I don't mean my time volunteering driving to Canada. I'm talking about mileage, postage, all of that stuff to acquire these, because we've bought them. You can't go online and just say, I'd like to buy 100. We've had to scavenger to get these in every corner.
I've been doing the math and the thinking, and I'm thinking you're talking about $1,000.
Has to be $1,000 just to break even. Just to break even. Because we have a website, nutcrackertrail.com. We have to make a sign for every single Nutcracker that tells you who the artist is, whatever. So we're risking things, and yes, it's $1,000 to have one of these. Could we have gone $1,200 to allow a cushion and then maybe make a couple $100 on each one and help us towards our building expansion? That would have been incredible. But we're dealing with the smallest of the small business here. We want all 100 Nutcrackers out there in the community, and we want it to be accessible for everyone. So it is $1,000, and that I wish I could have gone lower, but we just can't. So it is what it is.
So they're going to hit the United before they go out on the trail.
They will make a one-day appearance, so that if you're elderly, handicapped, have kids, or frankly just want to see them all one day in one spot and not zip everywhere to see the trail, you'll be able to go to the United that one day where they'll all be there. Then
Great.
later that night, they will get deployed to their various locations throughout the 2-state community. And then you can go check them out.
Do the people get to choose what location? Like,
Yes.
could a business say we'd want it on our front lawn?
Yeah. So if it's, let's say, for example, pizza place downstairs, they sponsored one. It will be a chef theme, a pizza chef theme nutcracker, and he'll put it in his window in his business.
Makes sense. Sure.
I've had 2 or 3 now families sponsor them that say, I love the concept. I want to participate. I want to be a part of the Chamber's 100th, and I want it to go downtown somewhere. Lisa, please find a high visibility location or find a small business that can't afford to sponsor one at $1,000. And I'll let my nutcracker be on display in their business for the program to help get some foot traffic to them. And then when the display period is over, then it will go to my house and I'll keep it at my house and use it at my house forevermore. So we are partnering artists with sponsors, and then we are partnering finished nutcrackers with locations if they don't already have one set up in advance by the sponsor. Okay.
Got it.
So
Sounds terrific.
yeah, a lot of moving parts. And again, there are several that are done, probably 10, maybe more.
Are
that
they at
complete.
your office?
They're at my office. So we invite you to come and look at them. No charge. I'll give you a little advanced glimpse. It's been very helpful for businesses and families to come to the office to see them in person and understand the size and scope of the project and get some ideas. And I will say that everyone that's come to look to the chamber to look has ended up sponsoring, because you get excited when you see them all gathered
Sure.
together, and your mind starts
Absolutely.
spinning about how you can be creative to represent your business theme or product.
Now they have to use one of your artists. They can't say we'll buy it and we're going to use my brother-in-law who's an artist.
Fantastic question. We would love you to use your brother-in-law.
Oh,
Yeah, we're not
Oh, okay.
dictators here. We want you to pick whoever you want. So if you don't have an artist, you can use one of ours. If you have your own artist, we reduce the cost from the $1,000, because now I'm not paying your artist. You can pay him
that's
yourself.
why I asked.
You can pay
I
him
was
yourself if
wondering.
you want, but if you pay the $1,000, I'll pay them. But if you're getting the reduced rate, then obviously they're not getting paid.
Of course.
Because again, we want everything we do to be accessible to all. And so that is why that is absolutely an option.
Good.
We even have a couple nutcrackers. I think there might be 5 that aren't the full 6 feet in size. They might be 4.5 feet, 5 feet.
I'm wondering if you took a picture of the 10 that you have now
Mhm.
and put them on your website, if that wouldn't generate people who might not be coming in, but might look at that and say, oh, maybe I do want one.
So we don't want to disclose everything early on and show all of the finished designs. But if you go to nutcrackertrail.com, there are
So that
definite
website's up right
Oh
now.
yeah, it's up and running. And all of these sponsor rates that you and I are talking about are
Yep.
listed in plain day. You can see information about the nutcrackers. You can see the smaller ones that they have a lower price. You can see that it's even less if you have your own artist. It's all out there.
Okay.
And so you can read a little bit about the project as well. So nutcrackertrail.com, and we would love for you to be a part of it. But there are about 10 sample photos on it. The sample photos do not represent the exact finished nutcrackers that we have in our collection this year. They are samples from other artists throughout the country that have created these and are very proud of their work, and we're able to use those
So
photos.
it's a for instance.
It's an inspiration,
Yeah.
is what it is.
That's good.
Yeah. So there's some
Give
fun
us
ones.
something for about 5 minutes, then we're going to go to break.
Sure. I would remind everyone that it's time to apply for Virtue Art Show. So if
Oh,
you are an
wow.
artist or a
You
crafts
really
person,
are just whipping through the air. My
Yeah.
God.
yeah, we start accepting the artists in about another week. The first batch of artists will be accepted because they need to plan their schedule. Some of
Sure
them
they
do
do.
the whole circuit right up through New England, and they need to plan accordingly where they're going to be. So that really dictates when we decide who's coming in our show. If you don't make this first round deadline, don't despair. There's other opportunities for you to apply for throughout the next month or so. But there's a discounted rate if you make it in for that first deadline date. You can find information about Virtue Art Festival at oceanchamber.org. The application link is on our calendar page and probably on our homepage, and it will bring you right there. And it's very affordable and a great way to get in touch with 20,000 potential customers.
When is the deadline?
The deadline, I believe, is the last day of February.
28th.
It's
That's
coming
Friday. That's 2 days.
It's coming up. Well, we've been
Wow.
advertising it for a couple months now.
Yeah.
But again, don't use the word deadline. First round approval. Because if your application comes in March 1st, it's still going to be considered fully.
Right.
You're just going to pay slightly more, and you're just going to have to wait another week or so to get your answer.
Yeah.
Whereas all these folks that have already applied,
Deadline
they'll
would be
know that.
misleading.
They'll know that. Yeah. So I don't like the word deadline.
I
But
got you, girl.
apply now.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. So give us something for just a couple of minutes.
Oh, another couple of minutes.
Yeah.
That was my couple of minutes. So what I will talk about is Rita Rivera. She has a design company, graphic design, called Love and Pop. And if you look at either the Chamber's Facebook page or the emails that we're sending out weekly, and I don't know if it's been updated on our website yet. That would be interesting to see at oceanchamber.org. But she put her heart and soul into creating a logo that we are using specifically for our 100th year. And it's a celebratory logo that incorporates the number 100 with the name of our organization and has elements of the logo that we've been using all along. Rita is amazing. She has volunteered her time in the past for us, painting buoys. She's painting a nutcracker right now. She's been involved in fusion for years. The lobster trap. She's just incredible. So we were really happy to work with her, and she donated her services.
What is Love and Pop? You said that's her business. Yeah. That's her business as an artist?
That's the name of her graphic design company.
Oh, it is graphic design.
Yep. So she does a lot of posters, a lot of logos, a lot of fun stuff. So we'll get the new logo on our website, but it's definitely on our Facebook page. When you go to our Facebook page, it's the profile picture right now. I looked at it earlier today, and it looks great. So thank you, Rita, for putting together an amazing logo worthy of this special occasion.
Okay, now we're gonna take a break.
All right.
We're talking to Lisa Konicki. She is the head of the Ocean Community Chamber, representing two states, one town.
2 towns, 2 states.
Yeah, and a whole
One
bunch of
community.
people. One community. I knew there was one something.
All
We
good.
will be back with Lisa. Your head's got to be spinning because first we had the Dante Society with everything for their 50th, and now you're getting everything for the 100th. So if you think there's nothing to do in town this year, boy, are you wrong.
And it's the Johnny Cake 75th.
Oh, that's right. I'd forgotten about that. Well, they're
Pretty
up,
sure it's their
they're
75th.
upcoming.
It's
They
definitely their anniversary.
Yes.
Is 75 the magic number?
I think it is 70 or
So
75.
this is just a great, great year all around.
Good. 2025 it is. We will be back with Lisa, with DJ, with Roxy the Radio Dog right after this.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Wood River House is my home for house.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Crow, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be your home for health.
He's on here a lot.
Why is this being weird?
Touchdown, West Philly! A chance for the Chargers, and they score! In the front, Fuzzy again!
And we have wiped off all our frosting. Lisa was kind enough to bring DJ Gadget some birthday cupcakes. So we have been licking frosting, and
that was a quick
having a very good time.
Mhm.
Okay, we are back with Lisa Konicki, and it just I can never keep up with all the stuff that's going on. I think of other chambers in other places who have one or two events a year, and that's it. This never stops. Never stops.
Yeah, sorry, staff. You know, yeah, we're kind of cut from a different cloth, and that's okay.
But that's why I will never understand why every single business in this town isn't a member, because they're benefiting from what others
So
are
many
doing.
are, absolutely the vast majority are, but for those that aren't, I actually blame myself and our staff on that, because while we're so busy doing all these things that we're talking about, the thing we're not busy at is knocking on doors to the people that aren't already a member and sitting down and talking to them about joining. We don't have a sales team. We don't have a commission sales staff. We don't do anything like that. Where some organizations have commission sales staff, that's all they do all day long is cold call, meet with people. So if I were to grade us, that would be the area that I would say needs the most improvement, because we have a great story to tell. It's an incredible value for
But you can
the
only
dues investment.
stretch people so far.
There's only so many hours in the
And
day.
you've only got 2 employees.
Yeah, and everybody is at their max, especially in a year like this being our 100, where we've memorialized all the things we normally do and then just added on. Because, you know, we've talked about a few things that are added on with Fashion Trashin' and with the Nutcracker Trail, et cetera. That's all more work, but that's not everything. We're going to be doing a gala later this year.
That was my very next question.
Of course, you got to have a party.
When's the big party?
Right. So the big party date is up in the air because it all comes down to the location.
Mhm.
We are honing in on a location. I don't want to disclose it. It would be outdoor under a tent at a beautiful picturesque location if we're able to secure it. There are many hoops to go through to get it. We're getting warmly received. We're jumping those hoops, but there are still many more to go.
Okay.
So I can't announce that date yet. Gosh, I need to announce the date next month so people put it on their calendar and know that it's coming.
You're looking summer then?
Yes. Yes. So right now it's looking like, August, September. Okay.
Oh, beautiful time.
I love September, but it's leaning towards August for a variety of reasons. So we'll have to see how that works out. So that's still coming up. And then while it's not an event up front, there will be a reception and some sort of a party down the road. We used to do something called 40 under 40.
Yes, I remember that.
It was
But
our
now
idea.
you're doing an under 50. I saw that on your website.
Right.
And I still qualify.
There you go. Well, a few people have gone up in age during that
Yeah, I
few years
noticed
that we
that.
haven't done it. So that means they're still going to make it under the cap. Yeah. So the thought was we used to do 40 under 40. It was our idea. We proposed it. We had some regional partners and it ran its course for about 3 or 4 years. And one of our partners said, don't want to do it anymore. We're not making enough money doing it. We were doing it for a different reason, to recognize young professionals and to give them a nod that they deserve for their community service, for excelling in their career, for being a part of the fabric of the community. It wasn't about money. Not everything we do is about money. But when one of the 3 partners backed out, the second partner said, now it's going to fall to the 2 of us. So it fell apart.
Too bad.
It was too bad. But at the same time, not every chamber is in our position. We were able to do it and justify it where we, quote, only made $3,000 doing it. Whereas other organizations, it's not worth it unless I make 10,000 or something like that. We were
Right.
fine. So in looking at all the things we used to do and saying, which ones should we consider for this 100th? That program came up and it was part of the discussion. And we sat down and said, well, we're not going to call it 40 under 40 again if we do this, because we're not involving other partners. We're just going to do it ourselves. And then as we got discussing it with Rob Valenti at Valenti Family of Dealerships, he said, Lisa, you're turning 100. You should be doing 50 under 50.
That equals 100.
And then 50 over 50. So what we have released is the nomination form for 50 under 50. And that is due between now and March 14th.
I started to fill it in the other day, and the person that I was going to fill it in for just turned 51. I thought she was younger.
Well, guess what? In
She
a
can
couple
now
of
be
months,
over
you
50.
can save that nomination and do that. So,
But that one down there is under 50.
well, the nomination form is not complex. It's quick and easy. It's on the computer. You can find it at oceanchamber.org. And we're grateful to Valenti Family of Dealerships because he said, I absolutely missed this program. I thought it was a value to the
So
community.
they are sponsoring it.
They're sponsoring it. It's not going to cover all the costs. That's okay. Like I said before, not everything we do has to make money or make a lot of money, but they're our partner. And also 321 Media is our partner.
Woo-hoo.
Great.
So if somebody gets recognized as, for example, one of the 50 under 50, they're going to get an interview here with Ben, and they'll get that recognition. So they'll get a half hour dedicated just to them on their recognition.
Great.
They will get an award, nothing crazy, but they will get something that's personalized for them that recognizes the 50 under 50 award. They will get obviously some publicity on social media, each one with their own dedicated post. And we will have a party, a reception for
Nice.
these folks with some snacks and stuff. So that date is to be announced later. But for now, let's focus on getting great people the recognition they deserve.
Exactly.
And there's enough of them out there. You think, 50 is a big number. I could spout off 50 like this, people that are unsung heroes and are doing things. And it can be Westerly, it can be Richmond, it can be Mystic, it can be Stonington. So when you start adding up all those towns, it's like, wait a minute, you can get 50 pretty darn quick.
Sure.
So please help us identify those folks. And later we will launch the 50 over 50 and set that up and put that on its way. Okay. But yeah, thanks to Rob, because that was a brilliant suggestion with the 50 and 50 equaling 100 and having that be our thing this year.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very good.
I will give you an update on our building expansion. So, or I should say the efforts to, get the building expansion. We're continuing with our fundraising, chipping away. We have a handful, about 4 or 5 individuals that have signed up to skydive this year. So we're going to do that again. We would love to get that number up to about 10. Certainly we can do more, but I think 10 is the minimum I would like to do for the skydiving. And that will be held in June on a gorgeous sunny day. So if anyone's out there,
You already know, right?
yes, they want to raise $1,000, that covers their skydiving cost of a couple $100 plus, and some refreshments that we'll have that day, and they'll be a part of it. And then the remaining monies go towards the chamber building fund.
Refreshments are after they've jumped.
Yes. Yep.
Smart.
and then we have 2 people so far that are interested in the shark diving again.
You know, I was thinking driving here today, I was thinking, I wonder what crazy idea she's going to have this year. I didn't think you were going to redo the sharks.
People saw the videos, have gotten the nerve up and said, yeah, I think I'll do it. And again, we only have 2 so far. The boat takes out 6 people. So this isn't like we need a ton of people, but it's
but you're not going to do it for 2 either. Are you?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. But do I think we can get 6? Yes, I can. We did that one at the end of the summer. We did it in September. So we have time to identify some other folks that might want to do that. And because it was one of the most really exhilarating things I've ever done in my life, I loved them both very much, but the shark was crazy, crazy exciting. I hope that more people will take advantage of it because it was an experience you'll just never forget. So if that interests you, if you're a daredevil and you want to participate in either one of those, let us know because we're definitely going down that path. We have hurdles to go through when it comes to permits to expand at One Chamber Way, because for those who aren't aware, the chamber owns the building, but the land is owned by the town, and we have a 99-year lease. And so we're also right near the airport. So anytime you build anything near the airport, there's extra steps involved.
Exactly. Because I know those planes, I do not take boats. I fly if I go to Block Island.
Sure.
And they go right over the chamber
Yes.
on their way home because I see it
They
every
do.
single time.
They do. We actually had one land in right beyond our driveway one time.
Really?
In the tree. Yeah, it ran out of gas.
Oh.
Landed in the tree and the nose went straight down, and the trees kept the plane from literally crashing.
So the people were okay.
The people, I ran out my office. The guy opened the door and he jumped out. Yeah.
It was just one guy.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why when the Rhode Island Airport Corporation came in and said, oh, the trees are getting too tall near the airport, and they scalped them all down to 4 feet tall, it was actually kind of sad because I would have preferred that they be trimmed rather than scalped.
Pruned. Right.
Because I saw the safety net that it provided for somebody
Yeah.
in that emergency situation with their gasoline.
I feel like that was a very talented land
Yeah,
on his part.
It was a very lucky
Yeah.
land on his part.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a short flight. It's 12 minutes. How would you not know that you're about to
Well,
run
you're
out of
assuming that
gas?
flight came from Block Island.
Yeah, I am.
It was not a New England Airlines flight.
Oh, it was.
Okay.
Okay.
So it could have been a private pilot that came from Martha's Vineyard. It could have been anybody.
And thought they could make it.
Yes. And in case you're not aware, not only is New England Airlines still an amazing operation that's out of the airport that gets you there in 12 minutes and back to Block Island, there's a new business operating out of the airport called Fly the Whale. And that is an alternative to New England Airlines. So now there are 2.
I think I read about that. Where does that go? Does that go to Block Island?
Correct. Yes.
So they're competing head to head with Bendakis? Wow.
Competing head to head with New England Airlines. I'm sure there are some differences, but that's something that's a new business on the, they just joined the chamber, and we want to make sure that people give them the opportunity to show what they can do as well. Because these are obviously licensed, experienced pilots that are from our community that have formed this business.
Good for them.
Yeah, why not?
Competition's always healthy.
Oh, it is. Keeps you on your toes and forces you to do better.
Oh, that is a good logo. I want to show people.
Yes, it is a beautiful logo. We love it.
That is beautiful.
Oh,
Good
that's
job.
the new logo
Yeah.
that the lady did for you for
Rita,
the 100th.
gotta love Rita. So how did we get there? We were talking about 50 under 50. We were talking about this
Yes.
event. How the heck did we end up on Block Island and airplanes?
We were talking about the airplane jump.
Oh,
Yes.
fundraising for the
Thank you.
building. Hello.
I'm
Okay.
writing it all, so yeah.
Back on the building. Yes. So we have gotten permission from the Rhode Island State Department of Transportation to do the building expansion. That was hurdle 1. And then we got permission from the Rhode Island Airport Corporation. Number 2. Next is the FAA. So all of our
biggie.
building plans, they're all biggies really, but all of our building plans with elevations and everything have to be submitted to the FAA. And so that process involves a review that could take a few months really. We'll see how long it takes, but we're in the process with that one right now. So once that's done, if it's a no, the building doesn't belong there for this reason or that reason, then it's game over for that location.
Oof.
That they get the final say.
Oh.
And so we would be forced
You
in
got a
that
plan
position.
B?
Always have to have a plan B.
Well, yeah, gotta have
You know,
one. That's
because
what
we need the space for the safety of the volunteers, for the protection of the equipment that needs storage, and for the projects that need the pre-event staging. All of the things that we outlined to the town council in our original meeting with them in June of 2023. So that need does not go away. We would circle back to our funders that have already donated and say, listen, thanks for the contribution that you made. Just want you to know we're not proceeding at this location for this reason. Are you still supportive of the overall concept of more storage and space? And can we keep your donation and use it here or there? So the here or there.
I was going to say, do you have a here or there?
So, I mean, you can certainly rent space. There are places to rent. So would we rent or would we buy? And where would that be? That's the question. So I guess what I'm comfortable saying today is it would be in the town of Westerly for sure. We would not be leaving Westerly, and we would not be buying property in any town other than Westerly. So now it's, are we buying or are we renting? You know, these are the discussions for the plan B that come up. Okay. So I hope we don't need the plan B for our building expansion.
You got a great location. You really
Oh yeah,
do.
no, the location's perfect. And it's just from the convenience of having everything in one spot for the storage.
Exactly.
Because part of the storage we need, you know, magazines come in, maps come in, all this stuff is
Yeah.
coming in on tractor trailers. I don't want that to come in at a storage unit at Dunn's Corners, and then now I have to transport it to my office. That is just not efficient. It's backbreaking. We don't have the equipment for it. So the best
Or
place
the
for it,
people.
yeah, the best place for it is at Chamber Way.
Mhm.
But we'll see. We'll see.
And Chamber Way is so good for visitors.
Yeah.
Because the signage is good. And once they make either one of those two turns, it's private back there. There's parking. It's quiet.
Yes.
They're off the main drag and they can spend time with you.
Yeah, it's safe, and there's the picnic area, and we're going to give them our
And bathrooms,
full
too.
attention. Yes. Yep. The you know, the feeling of that street will be changing because there's a development project that's going in. So there are somewhere between, I forgot the exact number.
Housing?
Yes. 25 plus. It might be closer to 35 units that will be going in on Chamber Way. So they're presently going through the same process that we're going through because, again, they have to go to RIAC. They have to go to DOT. They have to, you know, there's all this stuff that has to take place before that can happen for all the same reasons. But we, of course, want to be good neighbors. We want to tidy up our property and put some of the things that are presently outside inside so that they last longer and that the property looks better. We have multiple goals with this project, all of which will be an improvement to the aesthetics, improvement to the services we provide to the town itself, and also the businesses and people that live here and enjoy all those events.
Okay.
So that
We
is
got
our
about 10 minutes left.
We are
for
still
ya.
accepting donations to the building expansion. Thank you. So a little update. We had a meeting last week with our downtown business community. We held it at Pooch's. All the downtown businesses were invited to attend. And, we have so many new businesses in the past year that it was shocking to me how many of them had never met each other. So,
Wow.
yeah,
And yet there they are, right on the same street.
yeah, in some cases. So it was great for networking at the beginning and for people to understand who their neighbors are and to build that camaraderie amongst the downtown business community as a whole. We talked about all of the upcoming activities, whether they are ours or produced by other groups, so that they can find ways to tie in and generate some foot traffic for their business. We talked about different marketing opportunities that are presented to them. And then we got into like an open discussion on, what are the biggest challenges facing your business downtown right now? What might those look like? And are those things that the chamber can help with? So it was a really healthy discussion.
May I ask what was the number one challenge?
So
or number two?
Yes, there were some challenges. So the one challenge is there is an increasing number of individuals loitering downtown.
Really?
Yes. And in some cases, business owners will come to their shop or their restaurant or their arts attraction in the morning, and there might be a person curled up in their front door that slept there.
Oh, that's not good for business.
Okay. And it's also awkward. You want to show
Sure.
empathy, but there's some safety concerns for a variety of reasons. And it's kind of sends a message to the public. For some people might think it's unsafe to come downtown when they
And
see
you
that.
don't want that.
So, identifying what the problem is, identifying which agencies might be able to help with this particular problem, talking to our town manager and the police
I was going to
chief.
say, was the town manager there? Were the police there?
So
at this
they
meeting?
weren't at this first meeting because these people haven't gotten together yet. In 2 years, we wanted it to be just them so they could talk freely. And then we came out with a list of things to go to the town manager with, which I've done.
Okay.
And he will be invited to subsequent meetings. So that was one issue. Another issue was the overall cleanliness factor of downtown, which is nip bottles, cigarette butts, and trash being stuck in trees and flower pots and alleyways and things like that.
It
And
just kills me. It's such a beautiful downtown.
and it's such a horrible habit for anyone to have, to throw their trash on somebody else's property.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's literally one of my biggest pet peeves ever. So how do you do that, and whose responsibility is it? And so you had business owners sharing that part of their daily routine every single day, the first thing they do is they get the broom and they get the dustpan, and they go out and they sweep the entire area in front of their shop so that whatever transpired the night before, there's no evidence of it when they start their day. It's just on their checklist now. There was some requests for additional trash cans to be placed downtown. There used to be more than the number that are there. So the philosophy was, if we add another 3 trash cans, would people be more likely to use them rather than just dump their can on the ground or throw their cigarette on the ground or whatever. Don't know. So we're looking into that. Where did those cans end up, and can they end up downtown? And if they ended up somewhere else and they're being used somewhere else, can the town consider ordering another can or 2 to put downtown? Because the way their cans are now, it's half is for trash and half is recycling. They're decent looking receptacles, and you would want to keep it uniform, obviously. So those were 2 issues. They wanted the town to sweep more frequently the streets with the street sweeping machines that they have. And then there was a request. So the request was pertaining to our Sunday Fun Day. It was from a business that's between the section of Christina's and Surf Cantina. Okay.
So
a
Canal
Street business that said, love Sunday Fun Day, that it's taking place down there. But how about you alternate? How about instead of it being from Michelli's to Koi every single time,
Oh,
what if you try it and put it in front of my business and the other businesses from Christina's to Surf? And it was like a light bulb went off. Why not? You know,
is that the
Exactly.
corner? Like
So you've got the United there. You've got
Yeah.
about 5
the
restaurants.
bookstore, Toscano's,
Yeah.
cafe,
Train
so
station.
Christina's. So, my response was, I love new ideas, and it's definitely not a no. What would it take to gain support to do it there? Is there enough room, if that was the section, for the tents, the entertainment, the mini golf, whatever? That's the first question. Is there support from the other business owners in that section? Just like we surveyed people about Sunday Funday last time, just because this one business wants the street shut down in front of their business doesn't mean that the other 10 or 12 in there might agree with them. So we have to do our due diligence as a membership organization,
Right.
and literally have a conversation with every single business
Yeah.
that this would affect in that area. And that's how we came to establish Sunday Funday in the first place. We did the legwork.
Well, it's like you said earlier, too, when you were wondering if you were going to do it again. You talked to 32 people
Yeah.
and 31 of them said, yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, you need to have the data.
Yeah.
We don't operate in a vacuum.
I think people appreciate that, too, because it's one-on-one. It's showing respect
Sure.
to them, and whether they're members or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's an excellent point. It doesn't matter if they're members or not. And we allow non-members to participate in our activities. They're at Sunday Funday for free. So if you're a business and maybe you're in Watch Hill and you're not a member of the chamber, but you want to set up on a Sunday Funday, we'll let you borrow our tent. We'll let you borrow our tables.
Right.
Just because the event is taking place downtown does not mean it can only benefit businesses downtown. The town of Westerly itself is one of our sponsors, if you will, of this program.
Right.
So it's not exclusive to a downtown
So somebody
business.
on Main Street or on Route 1
Sure.
could come down there.
They could, as long as I have the room. Now, what I will not do is I'm not going to put a competitor directly in front of a business that's already there, because that's just
Right.
rude. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not doing it. So if you sell ice cream and you want to be downtown, I'm not putting you in front of Pompelmo with her gelato.
Right.
I know you're going to say ice cream and gelato are two different things. Still not going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because if you get ice cream, are you going to get gelato? No, you just had ice cream. Or if you
Exactly.
get gelato, are you going to get ice cream? No, you just had gelato.
But what Pompelmo, as an example, will do, if she's not open one of the Sundays of Sunday Funday, she'll tell me 2 weeks, 3 weeks in advance, Lisa, I have a wedding, or I have this, or I'm not going to be open. Feel free to put someone in front of my business.
Aw.
Right.
And then that's the case where I might contact somebody that has an ice cream truck or the Cold Stone Creamery or somebody else and bring them down and put them there.
That's really
Makes a
smart
lot of
too, because
sense.
they're going there for a frozen treat, and then they're like, "Oh, they're closed." So instead of disappointment, you turn around and it's
There's somebody
Why
else.
don't we get that?
So-
Time-wise, I think we've done it because we need to talk about next week.
All righty.
Next week being the first Wednesday of the month, we have whom I call the library twins. We have Bridget and Bill from right across the street. And as you know, if you've listened to this program for any length of time, it's a lot more than books. They've got a lot of activities going on. They've got a great one coming up, Caddy Stacks. I had to think. So I
That's
didn't
so
say it.
cute.
Yeah, Caddy Stacks is coming up in a couple of weeks, and you will be playing miniature golf inside the library. Every hole is themed, and it's literally themed. During the day, it's going to be for families. In the evening, there will be adult beverages and food at those holes. So it's a great thing, and they'll tell you more about it. And we have Detective Howie Mills, and we never know who he's bringing with him, whether they have 2 legs or 4 legs or what's going on at the police department.
Do they come in
Lisa-
handcuffs?
No.
No.
It's
Okay.
not that kind
Lisa,
of show.
thank
Lisa.
you as always. DJ Gadget, happy birthday this weekend.
Yay!
Roxy, the radio dog, I think, is asleep.
No, she made her appearance.
Oh,
There
she
you
did.
go.
Okay.
Thanks for being born, DJ. Thank you.
Oh, thank
And
you for the cupcakes.
We'll see everybody next week. You'll see us, you'll hear us on Man About Town from 321 Media in downtown Westerly. See you next week.
Broadcasting live on Weirsterly LLC.
Wood River House is my home for health.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Croak, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be your home for health.